Hey everyone, I'm Christoph.
And I'm Emily.
And welcome to our podcast, Till Death Do Your Part.
We're so excited to share our journey with you as we navigate through all that life has given us in our marriage.
That's right, Em. We know when you get married, you say those famous words, Till Death Do Us Part. But what do you do when life hits you and you realize the easiest part was saying those 5 words at the altar?
Our hope with this podcast is to share useful tips and insights that we've gained along the way, both the good and the bad, to help you face anything head on in your own marriage.
And most importantly, our prayer is that we glorify Jesus along the way because, let's face it, we wouldn't be here today without his guidance.
So if you're ready to join us on this journey, hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. Hey guys, it's Emily.
And it's Christoph.
This is season 2 of the Till Death Do Your Part podcast.
Yeah, and today we are going to talk about love languages.
Yes, which is very important to know yours and your spouse's.
Yes.
Love language is how we receive love and express love.
Yes.
In any relationship, it could be like, not just marriage, but we are specifically talking about marriage
This
today.
is a marriage podcast. So.
Yes. Good stuff. So first we'll start out by just talking about the love languages, what they are, and what they are, and then later on we will give examples for how to do these.
Yeah. So the first one is mine, which is words of affirmation.
Yes.
And I just like to hear thank yous. I like to be told that I'm doing a good job.
Feel appreciated.
Yeah. Like the things I'm doing mean something to someone.
Yeah, so it's all about appreciation, encouragement, and affirming how, well they are doing and what they're putting into the family. For my love language, it's physical touch.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just mean like nasty, like truly. Like I feel the most love when he puts his hands on me, when he kisses me, hugs me. But
for a second, I was about to say I'm really good at it, but now I'm like, not so much.
Yeah, he's not, because he actually, which we'll talk about more in a little bit, but that is like his last on his list is physical touch.
I like to be left alone. I know there's people out there that are exactly like me. Like when we're sitting on the couch, you got your spot, I got my spot.
No, I want to be all up together.
And you want to be sitting in my lap.
He's like, why are you sitting on my couch cushion?
Yeah, this is my seat.
It's fine. So my used to be my love language was gifts. Receiving gifts. And I was
really good at that.
Yes, he used to buy me.
I think I'm still doing that.
Super burritos from Taco Casa.
No olives.
All the time. Religiously. And so it has changed over the years because now I guess materialistic things
when you get in a relationship at 13, I think gifts is probably
That's the easiest way to show someone some love.
Yeah,
like hugging and kissing. It wasn't really allowed.
So I'd say things change. 2 kids and a lot of things happen. So
yeah, lots of hugging and kissing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And then another.
That's how we ended up with the kids. It's the physical touch.
I'm sorry, guys. We have already found Chris.
We have family that listens to this. I'm sorry.
So another one is
they know the kids though. So
acts of service.
Yes.
That's gonna be like he does this really well, and he actually tried to love me in this way. He didn't know that wasn't my love language, but getting me coffee, making my plate,
cooking.
Yeah.
Which is just stuff that I enjoy. So I thought I was like, oh, I could do this for you, but. Even though it's a nice gesture, it's never the way you receive love.
Yeah, and he would, we'd get into arguments, and I'd be like, I just don't feel like you love me, which that's probably not the right thing to say, but that's what I would say. And he would say, I get you a drink, and I do this, and I do that. And then, we came to the realization that he was trying to...
Oh, man, yeah, I'm not...
He was trying to love me with acts of service, and...
It's like you're speaking English, and I'm speaking Spanish.
Yes, and so
you're just not getting it.
No, and I appreciated it. It wasn't that I didn't appreciate what he was doing, but... him doing that for me did not show me that he loved me. I just thought he was just doing something nice because he's my husband.
This is my husband. This is what he does.
This is what he does. He gets me Dr. Peppers all the time. He gets me medicine when I have a headache.
Even though I say you need water, I get you a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Another one, though, is quality time, which is in spending one-on-one intentional time together.
Which goes back to our date night episode if you didn't listen to that.
Yes. If you find that you don't like to be alone and your spouse wants to be with you like all the time, that could be that their love language is quality time.
Yeah.
If they feel sad or lost without you.
They're always texting you when you're at work.
Yeah. And Christoph, it's not my love language.
I think Emily's secondary love language is quality time.
Yeah, like you can't text at work. Well, I'm texting you
Yeah.
anyways. So, there is different ways that you can learn your love language. Some of you probably know your love language, some might not. So there's different ways you can do that.
Yeah, Emily's always having to tell me what mine is. I forget. And I also didn't even know these were a thing until like a couple of years ago. So.
I've always known what they were. My mom gave me a book years ago, and I wasn't even married, but I don't know why she gave it to me. Either way. So, discovering your love language, you can do it by just paying attention to cues that make you feel the most love when your spouse does things for you, when you realize that being together, is, what makes you feel loved. If you realize that when your wife or husband says thank you all the time and appreciates you and what you
Yeah.
do, or when they're not doing it, lacking doing it, and then you start feeling sad because they're not doing those things, that's a way to find out.
Yeah, or if you feel like you're missing something, like this is like a big thing that I'm missing, and we're listing them down for you. So if we said something and you're like, that is what I'm missing, then that's most likely your love language.
Yeah, because we'll get into this in a second. But another way is online quizzes. That's a really easy way. You just take like a quick quiz. I'm sure they have it on their website, or you could even just
Google it.
find
Yeah.
one on Google. Yeah, super easy. So, one of the biggest issues in marriage when it comes to somebody not feeling loved is you try to love your spouse in a different way than how they receive love, like he used to do, or you just you don't know your spouses, so you start loving in what you like to be loved. So for me, I'm hugging and kissing him and he's not really feeling the love, and I think
Yeah.
I hug you and I kiss you all the time, and he enjoys it, but well, he doesn't really, but he
Yeah.
enjoys it, but he doesn't really feel
I enjoy the kissing. I don't enjoy
the full like potential of how much love he could feel. It doesn't happen when
yeah,
I'm
because
not
it's
loving
not
him.
the language that I speak.
Yes.
I
And
want the thank yous, the good jobs, you
yeah.
know, and whenever I'm not getting that, I think all the work that I'm putting in or the things I'm doing, it's all for naught.
And when I'm hugging him and kissing him and he's not reciprocating it in the same like way that I am, and not in the same positive attitude that I have, I
Yeah,
feel like he doesn't love me.
because you know the way it makes you feel, and
Yeah.
you're like, well, whenever I get this, this is how I feel. So you would just automatically assume that your spouse is going to feel the same way, and it just so happens to not be true unless your spouse has the same love language as you, which I have never really seen,
I haven't either. I
honestly.
wish I would have looked that up before this, like just knowing like how often it is that your love languages are the same.
Yeah, every spouse that we've spoken to, I never
No.
hear, oh, we both love physical touch. I think they probably end up with like 70 kids if
Oh
they
my
did,
gosh.
but
The 19 kids and counting
yeah,
family,
they
that's
both
them.
have physical touch.
You're so silly. But it takes a lot of effort because it does not come natural when you are having to love your spouse in a way that you don't receive love well. Not that you don't see like at all, but I mean, that's just not what makes you the most happy. It brings you the most joy. So it takes a lot of effort and it's not
Yeah.
natural to do it, which then is what causes issues when you aren't loving your spouse in the way that the way they need to be loved. And you're doing it like maybe in the way that you like to be loved.
Yeah, but this could be fun too, like figuring out your spouse's love language.
Yeah.
It's almost like a game, you know. You put in work into your marriage. I mean, it's like the basis of what we've been talking about the
Yes. Doing your part.
past episodes of doing your part, yeah. And this is just another part in that is figuring out what your spouse enjoys and doing that for them because you love them.
Yes.
So
And
even if it's uncomfortable for you, even if you don't enjoy it, because I don't enjoy giving foot rubs with lotion. I hate touching lotion.
yeah.
But you know what? My wife loves it. And at the end of the day, she's helped me do this and that. And if that's the way you receive love, and I sit down on the couch with you, I rub your feet, play with your hair, rub your back, then you know what? That's what I'm going to do.
Back in the day when my love language was not physical touch, he used to rub my hair every single night
Yeah.
at bedtime. I mean, not a night went by that he did not rub my hair until I
There's
fell
also no
asleep.
kids in the bed.
Yeah, and he doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't rub my back or my hair very often. He's just not good at it anymore, but he does do good foot rubs.
Yeah, good foot rubs. I am good at that.
So we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but let's give a few examples of the different love languages. So we'll start with yours, words of affirmation, like you said earlier, showing how appreciated I am of you, and when you go to work, when you do the laundry.
Yeah, it's like the little text messages that I get from you that just really mean a lot. And even when I'm at work, I'm like super busy. I can't reply. But being able to like read those and just know is always just so beneficial to my day.
Yeah, so sending a quick text in the morning, when you know they're at work and they might be a little stressed out, that's a good way. Like,
Yeah.
hey, thank you so much for all you do. I appreciate you getting up at 4 a.m. today and going to work, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in bed at 10 a.m. I really
Yeah. My
appreciate.
work day's almost
Yeah,
over.
I wake up halfway through his workday. It's very, very
Like,
odd.
babe, I've already had lunch.
Who eats lunch at 8 a.m.? He does. So that is a way to show words of affirmation. So if that is your spouse's, that
Mm-hmm.
is a good way to do it. For acts of service, going to grab your drink for your spouse. Like, hey, babe, forgot my drink on the counter. Will you bring me one? He's so good at that. That is not my love language, but he is very good at that. It's always I sit down and he's
Absolutely.
about to sit down, and I'm like, oh, darn it, I'm
That's just
so
that's just
thirsty.
a woman thing because I see so many TikToks where women are like, or men reenacting their wives, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, gotta get up and get my wife's water, or never mind, women don't drink water.
No, we
They
don't. We
drink
drink Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper
Coffee.
and coffee, iced coffee. They drink half of it,
But just going out of your way, stop. I got like today, my coffee is over at the house, and he
and it is 4:21,
stop.
and it is half drank.
So, another way is just helping out. Like, if I happen to be out about during the day and he's at home and he knows that I need a certain thing clean, like the kids' room clean, he goes out of his way to clean the room to make sure that when I get home, it's done. So, doing something for me that he knows I need help with,
Yeah, it's just
that would
like
be a way.
one thing off your plate.
Yes.
And sometimes I think that's more of like a busy person's, like maybe a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they're overwhelmed,
Yes.
and you just doing an act of service that maybe they usually would do, but they've had a busy day,
Yeah.
and you're taking that off their plate. That's like a huge "I love you," I think.
Yes. That would be. I wish that was my love language. I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
I
because
tune
I'm
in.
really good
I
at
feel like that's
it.
my secondary for sure
Yeah,
is
and you
acts
can
of
have
service.
that's one thing we haven't touched on. You can have more than one love language too.
You're always going to have a primary one, though, that is
Yeah.
the main way that you receive love and do it well.
Yeah.
So another one is quality time. So if your spouse's is quality time, planning a date night, planning a time where the kids aren't with you, or even if you don't have kids, hey, tonight, let's go out to dinner and let's spend quality time. Let's put our phones away. Let's just spend time, you and
Or
I.
maybe you don't have any kids and it's just like instead of sitting around the house all evening on your phones because you both had a long day, it's hey, let's go for a walk. Let's
Play Fortnite.
I knew it was coming when you were smirking. I knew you were gonna say it. That's
I
like
know the last episode you said.
6 episodes in a row. I think we've mentioned Fortnite.
I know you said, how many episodes can we
Yeah, every single
talk about
one.
Fortnite? And I said every one, and that's true.
Yep.
Like gets out he gets out of these habits where he like doesn't like to play Fortnite, and I want to play.
Oh, it's usually because
Every
work is
single-
stressing me out.
Yeah, I'd rather
though.
play every single day. He gets mad at the game and he's like, I don't want to play anymore. And I want to play every day. So when he's like, hey, babe, tonight you want to play Fortnite? I'm like, oh my gosh, you are speaking my love language.
Fortnite is Emily's love language. I'll be
Yes.
like, I'll let you buy a new skin, babe. Use the credit card.
Yes, imaginary fun money. Just kidding.
We're not gonna pay it anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
We'll pay that when we get to the finances episode and her dad comes on, because then we're gonna get a little convicted.
Yeah, we're going to feel some conviction. That's why we're bringing somebody else in for that
printing
one.
my bank statements. I
No,
don't care what he says.
You better
if you're
bring his.
listening, just leave me alone. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. You don't live with your daughter, okay?
Stop. We're about to go to dinner right now. Okay.
And
So
it's
another.
not gonna be cheap.
Nope, we're going out on a big, nice dinner with our imaginary fun money. Okay, we're getting off topic. It's fine. So gifts is another one. Bringing flowers home. Women love some flowers.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
coming home with some flowers, or
Is that your third love language? Because I think Emily just is really complex. Okay,
I'm a little bit different than
I get
most.
flowers like once a week.
Okay, so that, or like I go into the store, like the other day I had to go in for a heating pad, and I came out with a monster for him.
Yes.
So knowing that tomorrow he's probably going to be getting up at 4 a.m., I'm going to get him that. So that would be a good way to show if that was his love language, a gift, like just getting them something that you know that they enjoy, a candy bar. Like it doesn't have
Something
to be
really useful too.
yeah, it doesn't even have to be expensive either.
No.
Just buying them something. Like, I didn't even think I used to ask for those super burritos, but you would just show up at the house and you'd be like, I got you Taco Casa. And it was the best thing ever. And I
Yeah, and
felt
Lord knows I didn't have no money either,
he
so I
was
was
using
scraping together
that was
some
back when they were
change.
like $2.39 for
Yeah,
the
with
super burrito.
inflation, they're about 17.50 right now. Anything with the word super in front of it is going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, Joe Biden.
Christoph. So, that is
We
a
just
way to
lost 5 listeners. Now we're down to 90.
who cares? Yeah, I know. So that is how you could show gifts. Doesn't mean big crazy gifts. It's just
No,
a
it's always
small,
the little things that just
yeah,
add
the
up.
little gestures that just show, hey, I am thinking about you. I love you. I know this makes you happy. I'm gonna go get you $5 carnations at Walmart and bring
I'm gonna
them home
wake
to
up
you.
early and get you coffee, or
Yes, like going out of your way to do it in the morning so that when I get up, I have something sweet to enjoy.
yeah.
And then the last one, oh wait, we already talked about
That's a
physical
life
touch.
hack, husbands. By the way, you can wake up early, go get the coffee, and then she's like really happy
You
with
might
you,
get
right?
questioned why you're up at 6 a.m. though.
But you get to be alone for like 2 hours, because they're
Crystal.
not gonna wake up.
Did we talk about physical touch already?
Yep, we did.
Okay, good. I, it's at the bottom of the list, but I guess we already
Hugs,
talked about it.
kisses.
Yes.
Yep.
Hugs, kisses, holding my hand out in public, things like that.
Yeah.
I love all of those. So those are the examples of love languages. We know we're kind of going through this pretty fast, but the best way for you to do this is to find your love language. Find your love language, let your spouse find their love language. Don't try to tell them how they should or shouldn't be loved, because it could be that you get into little spats and it's like, well, I did this for you and I did that for you. And it's like, it was always hard for me to defend that when he would say that, because it was like, it's not that I didn't appreciate and feel loved when he would do these things for me, but it
But
wasn't
you're
what
still
was,
missing
yes,
the
it wasn't
thing that
filling
you
my love tank.
desire the most.
Yeah, you're trying to, fill your spouse's love tank. And that means loving them maybe in a more unnatural way, because it's not how you best receive
Yeah.
love, but doing it, putting in the effort. That is how you can build a very strong marriage, when you're making your spouse feel loved. They won't be lacking in anything when you are doing that for them.
Yeah, and you can always just ask,
Yeah.
and if your spouse doesn't know, tell them about those steps to figuring out, when do you feel the most loved?
Mm-hmm.
When do I make you feel like that I love you?
Yes.
And then when they give you that answer, deductive reasoning, let's figure out the love language. That way you can better love your spouse.
Or just do the quizzes, which is a super simple
You
way.
can do them together. If you both don't know, do them together. If one spouse knows a little something about love languages and the other doesn't, let's encourage each other.
I'm really feeling like there's probably someone listening right now that definitely is having issues in this area. Maybe you're feeling a
Yeah.
lack. Maybe you've been married for some years and you're like, I love my spouse, they love me, but for some reason I just don't feel super appreciated. I don't feel like they're doing anything out of their way to show me that they love me truly, wholeheartedly. And I think this is a really big way to do that, is to learn your love language and have your spouse do it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, this is a good episode.
This is a good episode, and we could almost break it up into 5 different episodes,
like
but
a whole episode for each love language.
But that becomes a little overwhelming too, and we don't want to make other people wait on their episode.
Yeah,
like,
like
well,
special
that wasn't it, and I just spent 30 minutes listening. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like homework for you guys to go out, figure out what your love language is, what your spouse love language is, and then you guys communicate together
Yes.
to figure this out.
Yeah, I love this episode.
I know you're really big on love languages.
I am really big on love language, just because I know how I feel the most loved, and I definitely want my spouse doing those things for me to make me feel that way.
Yeah. And I think it's really big for us because your love language changed so drastically.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't communicate like, hey, this is not doing it for me anymore.
Yeah,
I'm really missing this. I think I need this.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to love him in his love language, because I forget, and I feel like I do it here and there, but again, it's unnatural sometimes, especially when it's not your love language. But it takes effort. But marriage is not easy, and everything you do in marriage takes work, because you are two totally different people. But it will be worth it in the end.
Yeah. When you said I do, you made it. You made the decision to put in the work.
Yep.
You love that person enough then to say you would. Those vows meant something. So continue to do it.
Yeah, and fill their love tank.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I think I'll say a prayer for this
Yeah,
one
for sure.
when we end this episode. God,
She's
thank
so hot when she prays.
you're so silly. Stop. I told him I'm a good prayer, and he
Yeah.
never knew because we never prayed together until these
Yeah.
episodes.
We're going to have an episode on that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good. That's good. Okay. Anyways, God, thank you so much for today. Thank you for this episode, even though we both came into it with not like the greatest mindset, but you take control every time. Today we discuss love languages, and I pray that every spouse finds their love language and they communicate it together so they can build better love, fill each other's tanks so that everyone feels loved the most intentionally. God, thank you for today. And in your name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Bye.